Tim. Today we are comparing mobile app testing and game development testing, specifically for mobile games. We're gonna discuss what makes testing games different from regular mobile apps, the unique challenges involved.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Thanks a lot for joining. And you see today we are playing Genshin Impact on iOS and mobile device. So I can adjust. It has some glitches while you are pausing the game, but you see that it's mobile phone mirroring. Yeah, it's not desktop, but okay, mobile device. And I'm just launching Genshin and continue playing from mobile device. Hi Marina.
Yeah. Good morning, Marina. Marina is our mobile QA, mobile expert. And as always, Gleb, our game dev QA lead, game dev
Pavel,
expert.
my name is Pavel, man.
Pavel. Oh, sorry. Today we're
No
gonna play
problem.
Genshin Impact. As Pavel mentioned, we are streaming from the real device, from the real iPhone, from the real mobile device to show all these specifics, to experience the specifics firsthand. One more time, good morning, guys. How are you today?
Yeah, fine, but as usual, want to sleep more a little bit.
Yeah, got a little bit energized by washing dishes with some music, so as ready as I can be.
Cool. Maybe some questions just to warm up. Uh, Marina, as a mobile expert, some serious QA expert who testing some serious, maybe banking application or something like that. Are you into gaming at all? Do you play games?
I do, and I admit that I started playing games on mobile after coronavirus thing happened, and my favorite game on mobile phone is um, a game from Electronic Arts. It's about designing some room. You get a challenge to place some furniture and decor in some room and submit a challenge and get rated. That's my favorite thing.
Kind of cozy gaming, relaxing, maybe.
Yeah, is that called casual gaming or
Cozy
yeah?
games, the games
Cozy.
without any violence, when you decorate some stuff, maybe have some farm or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Pavel, the question is to you. We have this stream as a series of events, and we talked about triple games a
Mhm.
lot. But did you ever play like mobile games?
Of course, I played a lot of mobile games, but not modern free to play or gacha games or something like this. I started playing mobile games, I know, from Java phones like Sony Ericsson, etc., starting from Asphalt, racing games, and lots of other stuff. But when modern era came, I've played from Angry Birds from 2009, if I'm not mistaken, it was released. And yeah, I remember my first Android phone didn't have the GPU accelerator, and the Angry Birds were freezing there. It was terrible, but I wanted to play this game because it was super popular. It was everywhere, and in university, guys who had iPhone 3G, they were absolutely on top of this gaming because yeah, iPhone in all the times has a great graphic accelerator and great CPU to run games. I can even say that modern games need to say thank you for iPhone because it creates App Store. It has great hardware to run games like Genshin Impact in your mobile device. It's amazing. You know how much it weighed? It's more than 40 gigabytes. It took time for me to download it on a mobile phone. Yeah, missing Java times when games were like 200 kilobytes, and you transfer them from one to one device using IR port. And yeah, it was great times.
Good old times.
Good old times, true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marina, you know, some QAs are a little bit, I can say, uh, don't believe mobile testing is like a different discipline or really something to need to be learned to become a good mobile or QA, to become a good tester. What do you think about it? Is it a really some specific field? Do you need to learn as a mobile QA something, I don't know, specific?
Okay, from where I stand, having no experience in professional game testing, just being a casual user and having some assumptions, I'd say that it rather takes a special kind of QA to want to be a QA in games, because I suppose when we react emotionally on some feature behavior in a regular app, like an app for grocery store or banking or whatever, it makes no sense. We follow our test cases. At worst, we can catch some unpredictable behavior or negative case. In games, it's much more random, and I assume if a tester is able to notice some annoying behavior, or if a feature is more complex than it should be and it blocks the gaming process, I suppose it's good. I'm not aware how much of that stuff a tester in games meets daily, but I assume it's present, and I think it's actually very exciting.
Yeah, can agree with you. Pavel, you handle this situation, and we just have hints from the audience in the chat that you need to learn to use burst ability from Ember
Yeah, I
to
try
do
to
this.
skip all the
Yeah.
dialogues and notes, but sometimes you need to read them, all the
Yeah, yeah,
tutorials.
yeah. People are a little bit upset that you don't know how to play Genshin Impact, but guys, please, it's a first time Pavel playing this game. It's a it's the idea of the stream to test it, to experience it. I like to have this life experience, but of course your hints can be very helpful.
Yeah, I've opened translation stream on YouTube, and I see the comments right now. So yeah, thanks everyone.
Okay, okay,
I
okay,
will
okay.
see
So
your.
you cheated. So you
No,
cheated.
no,
You
no, no.
just
I
used.
opened after I passed this.
Okay, 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 okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marina, for your words. But what about your way into mobile testing itself? Did you have a previous experience like a general QA, maybe working with the web, and after that you get into mobile testing, right? I just want to have
Well,
this bridge, between web testing, mobile testing, and where are mobile games in this world?
okay, okay. Actually, my first job at an outsourced IT company brought me straight into mobile app testing, and I was glad because I actually found it convenient and exciting to test on mobile. Um, uh, I was kind of inspired more to try that. And from that moment, most of my experience is in mobile testing. Never got to test games professionally, but I like to imagine that I am a game tester when I play something. And yeah, I imagine how would I have noticed some bug.
But What do you think? Pavel is a real game tester, but he is working with AAA games, games
Yeah.
for consoles like
Mhm.
PlayStation or for personal computer. Uh, do you think that if the Pavel will be a part of, for example, QA team of this game, Genshin Impact, did he need to learn something from you, from the mobile testing community to be a good game tester?
Mhm. Well, another assumption I have about games, Pavel will correct me if I'm wrong. A large part of QA would be related to performance testing and load testing and stress testing. And then specifics of doing that on mobile would come in very helpful. I assume performance stress testing on games is done via very particular tools. I suppose it makes sense to automate that process as well. Um,
Oh, yeah, I can add
yeah.
details here. It depends what we mean under performance testing, because at one point you need to see how much frames per second your games show and how much CPU and video RAM is used. But on the other side, if it's online game, by performance testing, you may there may be like performance of the server, how much people simultaneously may present on the server, how they will integrate, what will be the connection, what will be the pin, and will this hardware handle this amount of people. Returning to first point, in case if you need to track some performance like frames per second, yeah, you can automate this. You can record some demo. You can show lots of statistics. Developers can add a lots of overlays if you need. You can gather every second lots of data, how much polygons is drawn on your screen. And all this data at the end may be collected to some kind of, I don't know, CSV file, and after this it may be parsed to some beautiful graphics, and you will see at what scene, at what second of the demo you have drop downs, and if something need to be changed in the scene, maybe some physics disabled or textures quality reduced or resolution need to be reduced to make performance better. From the other side, when you test, you need to have, like in Fortnite, 100 people at the same map simultaneously. In this case, unfortunately, you just only need to gather 100 people, give them devices. It would be great to have different devices, because Fortnite, for example, has so you can play in one map with people from PC, mobile, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, etc., etc. So like crossplay. So you need to have 100 people with
I
different
see.
devices. Yeah, and it's called playtesting. It may be called performance playtesting, but it's very hard to organize, to find such people, to give them some kind of tasks, to record they are playing at the same time, so you can, after a game session, review it and report some issues to Jira or any bug management tool you have. So yeah.
But sorry for interrupting, but do you sometimes outsource such tasks to users, to audience, to beta testers, or is it even possible and is it practiced in games to outsource such things to audience? Because I suppose if you do that to some kind of random audience, they would spoil new release of the game, so that's not allowed, right?
Uh, Yeah, different ways you may do this. So, for example, yeah, you can hire a third-party company, write a contract with NDA and lots of this. So there are special IT companies who does only testing, for example, only performance testing, only play testing, and they have all the Parkov devices. So you just need to share them build, gather them all in one time, in one place. And yeah, they will do what you ask. When your game was already announced, for example, you can create closed beta testing to share some invites to different people, to different streamers, to some bloggers, etc. So yeah, but in these builds, usually extra statistics gathering is enabled. So lots of data is sent into your servers, and automatically some kind of parsed, aggregated into, again, graphics. So you will see what issues do you have and where people spend more time in what part of the game, where people stuck, did they notice some clue or did they miss some tutorial, etc., etc. So you can't imagine how much statistics is gathered in modern games.
The end of the temple should be up there.
Can we
Okay,
say
that's an
that this?
interesting point.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
Marina, go ahead.
You can continue. I can just say that it's an interesting point that indeed analytics gathering is apparently a very large part of that on later stages like beta testing. I see.
Can we say that this is like a part of the compatibility testing? I mean, we can say, correct me if I'm wrong, Marina, that compatibility testing is some kind of mobile testing specific. We need to dive into compatibility a little bit more than, for example, in web testing, because we have more variety of the devices, of the screen resolution and all this kind of stuff. But if we have this bridge to the game testing, for example, for the usual mobile applications, the CPU, GPU performance is not that critical, because most of the mobile apps for the broader audience, they pretty lightweight. They can be run on different devices, not high-end devices, but mobile games are pretty demanding in terms of CPU, GPU performance. Can we say that this compatibility testing is pretty the same for the game dev and for mobile testing, but in game dev we have like a more focus on GPU performance, CPU performance, some such kind of stuff?
Or to add to Nikita's question, I was wondering how critical it is in game testing to test devices that you can see from your statistics have, for example, no more than 100 users. So, for example, you have daily usage of, let's say, 10,000
I
unique
understand what you're
users.
talking
But
about. Let me interrupt you. It depends not of amount of user, but what percent of the whole users they are. So, you know,
yeah, that's what I mean.
it depends because you see not only devices, but if we are talking about free-to-play games, how much money people donate you, and you know this 1% or half of a percent may provide you a lots of revenue, for example, lots of money, and absolutely you need to understand what on what devices people who pay play more, and of course not forget about them. Absolutely, you need to test on, for example, iPhone 15 that uses 30% of your application. Of course, it's main focus, but especially don't forget about the data. So you can't rely only on one parameter. There's lots of information there.
We have in the chat, we have like one more word about this topic. And also if they are paying users. So yeah, maybe it makes sense, right?
Okay,
If you
yes.
have a little percentage of users, but they gave you a main revenue, that will basically mean you need to test on these devices like a top priority. Totally makes sense, I guess. Cool. Maybe one more question to you, Marina, that we will after you answer, we will ask Pavel as well. Uh, what do you think are like top three mobile specific checks for mobile
You are Device of
applications?
Pride. The battles you just fought were sights to behold.
For mobile applications that are transferable to
I
games,
see
I
you already
suppose.
have the
No, no, no.
necessary
Just,
reviews. Our
from
headquarters
your
in the local
experience,
tavern.
like, and after that, we
Uh-huh.
will try to extrapolate
Quite
it to
rewarding.
mobile
No?
testing, game testing as
We've
well.
seized another temple from Stormterror's
Yeah,
grasp.
first thing that
I
always
can
comes to
take care of the
mind
rest here.
is
You
interruptions,
go take
all
care of
kinds
other
of them,
things while I'm at it.
which actually doesn't prove
There's
to
no
be able
way
to
any
find many
turtle
bugs in
organizing
regular
things like
apps.
this
But I
themselves.
suppose in
Not with
games
their limited
it's
mental
a super
capacity.
high priority because supposing you were
I see
playing
you were
on your
behind
home
this.
Wi-Fi and electricity got turned off, you have to super quickly switch to mobile network, and it's good if your game, I suppose, allows you some kind of setting to quickly switch from Wi-Fi to mobile already before you do it manually. Um, I suppose that's the most critical thing. Interruptions
Agree to
via
disagree.
calls,
Your involvement in this just made
notifications,
things a whole lot more interesting.
and I'd be very interested to see how the game behaves when indeed performance of the device drops.
Ninth of
For
the
example,
bonus.
it gets heated or the battery gets depleted. And if the game performs as well as it did um, with a fully charged battery, or if it performs while device is still charging. I suppose some regular applications, if it's for example a photo editor, also very heavy application that uses lots of resources, would require the same kind of testing.
Do you agree? Like interruptions,
Absolutely, yes.
dependency of the battery percentage.
Yes,
Is
yes.
it applicable for game testing?
Yes, of course. These are the common checks, and it reminds me about the times when on iOS devices, when you receive a call, it was only on the full screen. It was no pop-up at the top of the
Yeah.
screen, and you may
Mhm.
record video, for example, of wedding. I don't know. You may play some session game, and you're receiving this call. It's full screen. It interrupts your internet, and it absolutely break your experience. It was terrible, but it wasn't the time when Android users got this only small pop-up on the top of the screen for 5 years, and Apple only after a long time invented this pop-up in iOS. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, mhm.
pretty recently I've got some bug in a game I was just playing on my phone when I got an alarm ringing and it paused
Yeah.
the game because it indeed was ringing and showing up as a banner on top of the screen. It didn't overlay the whole screen, but still it broke everything. I was so annoyed because I immediately thought that uh, as a tester, it would be a pretty fun find. Yeah,
Can say
I'd
that
be proud to find that.
interruption testing something that bring us together, right? Mobile testers and game dev testers, something that unites us. And I had a very good experience with interruptions. I was playing Prince of Persia: Lost Crown, very tough boss battle on Nintendo Switch, and
Mhm.
then in the middle of the battle, I've just use background mode for the game, and after I've returned to the game, the boss was broken. He was not responding, and I can just beat him without any damage received. A great experience. It's quite interesting, to think of, for example, Nintendo Switch or consoles like that. Are they more like mobile devices, or are they more something like a personal computers, like consoles? What are they closer to?
I just wanted to discuss about this. So, from my point of view, for a video game, A mobile device is some kind of a console. It's just a hardware where you launch a game. And you additionally just have all these mobile checks like network, like battery, like heating. But yeah, nowadays we have lots of portable consoles, Nintendo Switch, Steam Deck, and lots of Chinese stuff. But at first, when you test a game, at first you check this mobile device like a hardware. You check the performance, you check the overheating. You don't take a look on interruptions and network. Okay, if it's online game, network is also the priority. But mainly you just check graphics, RAM consumption, something like this. What else?
Question from our audience. Could you explain what difficulties might a tester face if he's not a big fan of computer games? So maybe it's for you, Pavel.
What difficulties game tester may have if it's not a fan of computer games?
Yeah. Let's imagine Maryna that plays sometimes some games, but she's not like a true fan of games, and she wanted to work with you, for example, on some AAA game. What difficulties she might face?
Okay. You need to know the specifics of the platform you are testing on. For example, if you test on a computer, on a personal computer, you know how much lots of configurations you may have. Different CPU, different GPU, different amount of RAM, different storage like HDD or fast SSD. So all huge amount of configurations, and unfortunately, it's impossible to test them all. You can't build such amount of workstations to test on each of them. But fortunately, nowadays we have these things that called a graphical API like DirectX and Vulkan, OpenGL formerly. So they take all the information from a game, transcode it to the format understandable to GPU. So you only need to test using different these APIs on DirectX and Vulkan. You don't need to test on thousands and thousands of graphic cards because they all of them work with the same DirectX 12, for example. Yeah, performance may be lower, but it runs with no artifacts.
It's an interesting topic. For example, in mobile testing, we have like a rule that testing on real devices is always better than on
Absolutely.
any simulators or something like that. But is it applicable for the game testing as well? I mean, is it a must to play this game on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch Lite, Switch 2, and so on?
Yes, of course, because you don't have any emulations of PlayStation 5, you don't have emulations of iOS. You have simulator in Xcode, but it's a little bit another stuff. So yeah, only real hardware. It only depends how you run build on them. You may have a console by your own, or it may be some kind of special, I don't know, not server, but special place in office or somewhere where you have some kind of a hub of devices. They are in one place, in one room, connected to network, and you just from your working laptop just may connect to it and test via remote connection. Yeah, you will receive some kind of not glitches, but delays. But in with modern optical internet and VPNs and lots of the stuff, you just will have additional pin for, I don't know, 10 milliseconds maybe. If you test single player game, it's not important, absolutely. Something like this. Did I answer your question?
How's your experience broadcasting from the iPhone?
Great experience to be sure, except of one case. You can't imagine how hot is my device right now because I've tried to find applications on iOS who have some kind of overlay to show temperature or CPU loading, and unfortunately on iOS you may see how every core of CPU is loaded, but you may not see the temperature of the battery. You only see that it's critical high, for example, or high, but you don't know in Celsius how much it is exactly. Yeah, but maybe it's the most uncomfortable way. And the other thing is that I used to play more on console devices or on PC, and as I transfer gameplay from my iPhone to 32 inches monitor, I want to look at monitor, but all the input buttons are on my screen on mobile device, so I need to unfortunately see on this small screen. I thought about connecting a gamepad to iOS to just put the phone on the table. I sure Genshin should know what
Yeah,
gamepads
yeah,
are.
yeah. I think it's compatible with the gamepad. Basically, it's an interesting one more topic because that mobile games nowadays it's compatible with a lot of third-party devices. For example, gamepad or I don't know something like AirPods. You can just connect it
I
and
want to
play.
do this to be
We
sure.
can test. We can test it, of
Yes,
course.
why not?
Well,
Why?
yeah,
Do you remember
yeah.
my Xbox One gamepad?
Controller,
So
yeah.
yes, yeah, and it's successfully. Let's go to Bluetooth, and I will turn on
Pair it via
pairing.
Bluetooth. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
and Xbox wireless controller pair.
Marina, have you ever, I don't know, test third-party devices with your mobile applications?
Yeah,
I'm
I have, in fact. I have
What it was?
experience of testing um, one popular social network application that allows messaging, calls, and via mobile network, not cellular network. And part of my job was to test that we don't interrupt a call when we connect a headset, that we switch smoothly when we disconnect headphones, uh, when we turn it off, things like that. When we switch a call from mobile to desktop or backwards, and that we don't have a lag of connected headphones to the phone, all kinds of that. I think the process is similar to games, in fact.
Yeah, it's very interesting when you have this little piece of hardware to include
Yeah.
into your test and to touch
Yeah,
something physical.
yeah, when you have never used AirPods and you get them just because you test calls, and you feel a little bit special.
That's
But then
great.
again,
Cool,
you
cool.
remember that,
Not so
that
special as Pavel.
yeah, yeah,
I've just imagining, like post officer knocks on the door for Pavel and has this big box with consoles, gamepads, and all the other hardware that's necessary for game testing.
You're absolutely right. I had such experience. I don't remember what service I ordered, but pretty young guy came and noticed lots of monitors, lots of system, lots of computers, and asked, "You working with game development?" I said, "Yeah." And what is it about? What engine? And yeah, so we discussed this a little bit. He was interested. I advised him some courses for starting in Unreal Engine, for example. So yeah, people who understand, they understand what's going on.
But have you proud of yourself in some way as a mobile tester as well? Have you something special connected to your mobile testing expertise? For example, I'm like a big fan of mobile testing because you can just, test it from any place. You don't need all this hardware to wear it
Yes,
with
yes.
you.
Yeah,
You can work from
that's
home,
the
from
best
office,
part.
from restaurant. You just have your mobile
Yeah.
phone and that's it. Let's go.
Yeah, you are that kind of an IT guy that can actually work from the beach sometimes.
If the sun is not too warm and it's not like make your
Yes,
device way hotter than it should be.
yes. Sorry, Pavel, for the pain point.
It reminds me about our last stream in Clair Obscure Expedition 33, where I also need to jump a lot, and I also fall down and didn't made it. Didn't make
Every
it
good game should have platforming sessions.
because we were everyone have such experience in childhood or not in with Super Mario Brothers. I
Yeah,
assume.
yeah, 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 yeah. Did you play Marina Mario games when you jump in with the Mario character?
Oh no, I'm the worst at those kinds of games. Do you know all those memes when, for example, you have a two-player game, for example, for boyfriend and girlfriend, and uh, um, boyfriend always has to jump on some stuff instead of his girlfriend. Yes, yes, that's me. That's
Okay.
just not, fast clicking is just not my kind of thing. Yeah.
One more topic I wanted to discuss with you guys. It's about not just general game versus mobile specifics, but the specifics that are only for mobile games. For example, such stuff like in mobile testing, there are dependency on what the version, how the apps are monitorized. For example, it can be free games, it can be paid games, or something like that. And for example, Genshin Impact, the game we're playing right now, it's a free game, right? You can just download it, 40 gigabytes, a couple of hours, and you can jump into it. But this game earn money by some loot boxes, right? And this is kind of specific mechanic for mobile games. Let's try to guess how it can be tested to take a look at this mechanic.
I can't say that it's specific only for mobile gaming.
Okay,
I
okay.
can say that it was born on mobile devices, absolutely. But maybe no, because I remember in the horse armor for Oblivion, and but it's some kind of another stuff. Okay, um, on mobile device, it's great that in modern device you have Apple Pay, you have Samsung Pay, for example, you have lots of payment stuff into your device where your card is already attached, and you just need to open shop, click buy for 9.99. Apple Pay is launched, scan your face, and it's gone, like it's the meme. Yeah, so it's super easy to spend money for I don't know different outfit, for weapons, for crystals, for anything you want. It reminds me about my daughter who plays Fortnite a lot, and she earned lots of V-Bucks there. And she usually buys some song that will play in your menu while you're waiting for opponents. Or she bought recently a skin of some alien with lots of UFO stuff, and it looks amazing. Yeah, so modern children, modern problems. You need to find money to spend them in Fortnite.
All that. Wanna go back and see how the
I can
night
see
Yeah.
like two topics you mentioned. First of
Mhm.
all, it's like a testing of the purchase or subscription mechanic itself, and I think it's pretty the same to the mobile testing as well. It's just the same logic to buy something, to purchase some things, or to have a subscription. And yeah,
Mhm. I just
yeah,
wanted to say that on modern consoles, with all the restrictions for different countries nowadays, it's pretty hard to spend money on PlayStation 5, for example, because you need to create separate account for special country. You need to buy some cards with a prepaid amount of money. You need to find the sellers who will accept your card from your country, or you need to find somebody. So on mobile device, sometimes you just need buy it, scan your face, and it's done. On consoles, it's much more complicated. But for last, I don't know, 4 years. But who wants to spend their money? They will pass all these activities. Also, they will learn something new. It's all about video games are all about learn something new, enter new genres, new difficulties, new challenges, new bosses, new activities. So it's some kind of special quest again. Maybe
Yeah, but
I started.
for mobile games,
Memory.
this process is pretty the same, right? So that for mobile application.
What do you mean? Put it the same? I can say
I mean,
absolutely.
the purchase for the purchase, the subscriptions. It's about Google Store. It's about App Store
Yeah.
connecting to the stores. So the logic how purchases is working is pretty the same.
Yeah, it's absolutely the same. You can say that payment are just like servers, additional servers to any application. It may be video game, it may be any store, it may be any, you know, so any application with any servers, and you just add payment stuff there, and that's it. So I think that's no much specific about mobile device or video games.
Okay, and the second theme it's this loot box mechanic as well itself. Uh, it's some kind of algorithm, right? Some the percentage that you will earn this reward and how it can be tested.
Great question. I've opened Shopper in Genshin right now, and I see that I don't have any crystals to spend. I have only 164 of basic, and I can't buy anything, unfortunately, right now. Yeah, how this algorithm are tested? Uh, your, I don't know, business analyst or product owner or person who writes all the requirements for this algorithm. So he writes for different items how often they may appear to different players, to different characters. It may depend of what level do you have, how much money you already spent. I don't know how much time you've played in the game. So lots of unknowns that need to be highlighted to make this algorithm work correctly. Maybe how much time of what time of the day, what time of the year, maybe some kind of Halloween or New Year's activity, and you want to make some kind of a gift, the chance of some legendary objects are higher. But yeah, you have all this stuff described like any other requirement in video game or application. You only may, I think, adjust the chances, for example, to not buy or open 1 million of loot boxes to check that, yeah, 1 of a million, I will receive this legendary thing. So you may just adjust chances to 20%, for example, and you may say that, okay, maybe I will need open 20 and I will find one. But it's the main, not problem, but so people that think wrong, chance if you already opened, I don't know, 50 loot boxes, it doesn't mean that your chances are changed when you open the next one. So when you open every time, chances are the same. So your previous rolls or opens does not affect your current.
But I heard that right now there is some regulation maybe on the level of countries when this mechanic should be unclosed for the users. Like for example, you spend $100 for 100 loot boxes, and you will earn the reward 100%. Yeah, in this case, it can be tested like with a 100 spins,
Yes,
right?
in this case, only like this. But you may again adjust and not for 100, but for 20, and open 20 and receive a reward. Yeah, about regulations, lots of countries are, I can say, fighting right now with loot boxes in video games, in Counter Strike, and lots of other stuff because they equal them to casino. So people waste lots of time there, lots of money. They want to win some special, unique stuff that no one have, and in some kind of way, in future, I think they will create laws or restrictions the same that we have for lots of online casino applications, etc. Because there are lots of limitations, lots of for different countries, for different states in the United States. How much money you may spend during the day, how much time you may spend within the application during the day or during the week, and how much time you may run this application during the week. So if you played 5 times a day and you have limits of 5 launches for a week, so I'm sorry, waiting for a new
We
Monday.
have a comment on the YouTube that if you
Uh,
go into this wish screen, there are all the rules describes for the PT system and the drop rates. Maybe
oh,
let's
really? Wish? Okay. Job details.
every 10 wishes. If, stop. It
Hmm.
was described. Every 10 wishes is guaranteed to include at least
Yes,
one 4-star or higher item. Sounds like a requirement in the Jira ticket, you know?
absolutely. Acceptance criteria.
Yeah. So basically, it can be tested in this way.
I see how much text within the game, and I remember that some uh, elder people complain that modern people and children don't read much nowadays. Unfortunately, no, we and our children read much more, but only we do this in video games, in some news channels, anywhere else. Not books or magazines. I remember magazines? Magazines. I want to show you some artifact, just because I can. Maybe you know there was a magazine about video games called Romania lots of years ago. And for December for last year, they printed one more one more edition of it.
Oh, copy, yeah. It's
Yeah,
like a collectional copy
yeah, some kind of limited stuff.
edition. Hmm.
Yeah, and I ordered and it was brought to me like it was in. So for a month I waited for it, but yeah, finally it became, and this smell of printed pictures with this paper, and so yeah, reminds me of some kind of childhood in university. Yeah, I'm sorry for this interruption. End of topic.
Marina, what is your, I don't know, the most beloved issue you found on the mobile device? Or maybe the most complicated from your experience?
Yeah, well, the most interesting bugs are the ones that happen very rarely and specific conditions. Developers hate them the most because what kind of things you have to go through to reproduce some of those. For example, if you open certain screens in certain order, the app will crash. And how can that be predicted? It just can't be predicted. But it's very fun for them then to learn that actually it had good technical reasons. For example, um, when the navigation was done, for example, from native part of the application to the cross-platform part of the application. That happens to me. I test cross-platform applications most often, so yeah, that's the cool part about them. And yeah, I'm the kind of tester that enjoys finding crashes and freezes, stuff like that.
There's a lady over there.
Like that disaster girl. I even
Welcome to
had
the
it on
Adventurers
my
Guild.
team's profile
Actually,
picture.
You've had your eye on her, eh?
One more interesting topic about mobile testing, I think, is accessibility testing. Right now, a lot of mobile applications work with accessibility, different text size, voiceover for some text, pictures, buttons, and so on and so on. First, I would like to ask this question to Marina. Have you got like experience as an accessibility testing? And then I would like to ask this question to Pavel about how it can be applicable for game
Without
testing.
further ado, here is your adventure handbook.
Right. I got experience in testing accessibility bugs found by external audit. Luckily, I didn't have to become an expert. But actually, that's a tricky question. Maybe I would have wanted to dig into the topic deeper. But anyway, um, there is such a thing in accessibility testing on mobile that you can connect external input sources, for example, a keyboard to connect it to a phone, to manipulate the device in a comfortable way if you have limited abilities in that regard. I suppose that's where Pavel comes in and helps us understand how those keyboards, I don't know, controllers and other stuff works with mobile games, because that would be pretty similar process.
With a Paimon's
Unfortunately, I don't have such experience, but I know that in modern video games, again, especially in Sony titles, they take they spend lots of time to adapt the game for people with some limitations. You can change your colors of the game. You can zoom the font and all the elements. You can change difficulty to skip some hard bosses or some areas of the game. Also, Sony presented lots of time ago special controllers. Yes, it won't be convenient for usual people, but for people with some limitations, it's absolutely amazing because it was developed with these people. They give advice how it would be more convenient to play, and you can play with different parts of your body. Some people play it with their some kind of face. You may put controller on your shoulder and press buttons with your cheek, and that's great. That as much
Nowadays, we
people as
have such
possible
stuff, right?
may play video games. Yes. So yes, it's super important, and lots of things is done in this area. Um, Not about video games, but for mobile devices. I know that both Android and iOS have some accessibility features within the operational system. And for example, for people who are blind but they want to type text on mobile device, they have some applications, and keyboard letters are on the screen, but on a special way, for example. And people turn their phone like up and down and print text that you need and do like this. And they absolutely, being blind, they know where the buttons. You receive special vibration to understand what letter you inputted, because iPhone 7 has Taptic Engine, a great, absolutely vibro. I closed the game while I was sharing this. Sorry, we'll reboot right now. Yeah, so accessibility is super important nowadays, and it's great that we have much more specialists in this area, and people with limitations help to improve all this stuff. Uh, and yeah, in modern days, you can play video games, you can type, you can continue communication in any way with, again, modern mobile devices.
Yeah, even I have experience like playing a game with accessibility settings. I have Xbox connected not to the very big, not to the very up-to-date television. And for the most of the games, the text is such small, it's not really readable. And then I played Doom Eternal, or not the Doom Eternal, Doom Dark Ages last year.
Okay.
And I've just noticed that in this particular game, they have a very good, a very convenient way to make the text larger. And after that, I saw that Doom Dark Ages, they get this Game of the Year award in terms of accessibility. And
Yeah.
I was just, oh yeah, cool guys. That's that's why I'm experienced that. Thank you for that. That you make it happen. One more topic I would wanted to discuss. One more specific can be about guidelines. For example, one of my pain points is working with mobile application when you trying to submit builds and it can be not released because it violates some guidelines from Google or Apple, and you have this problem with your mobile applications. Maryna, have you ever faced something like that?
Could you please repeat the question? Because I've been looking at an extremely interesting comment on our stream about my favorite game ever. And if we can, please, let's move on to that.
Yeah.
Now, please repeat the question.
Yeah. I have asked about, from my experience, I have this problem when app was rejected by the stores because some guidelines were violated.
Yeah.
Have you ever experienced something like that?
Yeah. As a tester, I have always pushed for never ever releasing on even Thursday afternoons. Thursday morning is the latest because of that happening pretty often, in fact. For example, we've got even occurrences of Android applications where reviews are not as strict, being rejected and reviewed then for days on end. And it's very important to account for those delays if you have frequent releases. Yeah, and some product owners and business people never believe it until they see it, such a delay in practice. I've got that too. But yeah, luckily, there are ways to manage that proactively in advance. Just account for the delays. The best thing I have come up with on that regard.
Thank you, Marina. Pavel, please heal your ember. Our audience say to you, heal your
Yes.
ember character, please.
Wow.
And can you please tell us about this process? It's pretty interesting topic. The process of releasing for the AAA games, is it different from the mobile games? Does Sony, Microsoft have these guidelines? Can it be violated? How often releases are happening? Can it like ruin the release process?
Full answer.
I'm asking about AAA games. Is it applicable for AAA games?
Of course, because you have, in modern days, again, you publish your game in different stores like Steam, Xbox, PlayStation Store, App Store, Epic Games Launcher, etc., etc. Use a real item. Okay, confirm. Guys, please write how I may heal my. Yeah,
Okay,
how?
don't just say as healed, say as how it can be done.
Yes.
Go
And
to state.
you see, I've turned on controller, I've changed input in settings, and now I play from
Yeah.
controller. And it's pretty complicated to navigate, for example, to my inventory. I understand that I need to find some kind of potion, but okay. About any restrictions in stores that may ruin your deadline. You start to publish. Oh,
Sorry for
go to
interruption,
stage
but we got an answer. Yeah, go to stage.
and worship with heal.
Yeah,
What
about the
stage?
source.
It's better to play, I think, on touch screen because you just may click on the map and map will open from controller how to open a map. So I need to change my settings again. Control type. But yeah, I showed that it's working. Okay. So you start to publish your application in the store and not on the release date. No, you do it for months before. And to create your page in Steam and anywhere else, again, a years may pass before release, but you also have page with trailers, with lots of information from developers, with languages that games will be working on. So yeah, you pass all these restrictions and you know about all the rules months before, right at the time you wanted to publish your application. So usually, before the day of release, you already fixed everything that some audit people don't like. Okay, Stacia, Night Software
While
Tag.
Pavel is working hard on his medical mission, I'd just want to mention how much my perspective on game testing shifted during that stream, because I've realized that game testing is kind of a mobile testing, but cranked up to the extremes in every possible kind of testing. Performance, analytics gathering, all the release process that is longer, not days, not weeks, months or years. It's just so cool. Everything is to the max.
I can agree. We running out of time, and maybe it's some time to summarize our experience from today's stream. And I can agree with Marina because, Marina mentioned, okay, I have this quite specific bug when I navigate between three pages and it's broken, but I can't imagine how it can be found when you have this huge 3D map and the character jump from one dot to another dot, and after that the game crashed. It's like a lot of things to check in this case.
Yeah, and let me just mention on the topic of bugs, someone mentioned in the comments those delightful, gorgeous bugs in the Sims game. Not mobile, sadly, but desktop, but still, it's worth mentioning. For example, I think I've had a case when someone died on a wedding I was doing, and then everyone else started dying out of horror of seeing death. So,
Luckily, that's only
yeah,
in video game it's possible.
yeah.
Pavel, did we manage to shift your understanding of mobile games or mobile app testing? Any insights from your side?
To be sure, I've only played from huge games, modern huge games. I played on mobile devices only Fortnite because I installed it to my daughter's iPhone 12, and Grand Theft Auto Definitive Edition because it was some sale and I've bought the third part for, I don't know, dollar maybe. And yeah, I know that such huge games are on mobile devices lots of time, but we are playing for an hour. And to be sure, I like the Genshin specifically because it's a mix of Zelda, a little bit of Expedition. Expedition took some mechanics from here. Amazing graphics. When you look at the game on 6-inch phone, it's amazing. But even when I connect it to Mac and wider it to 32-inch screen, it also looks
Still good.
great. Yes, I think last generation of consoles like Xbox One and PlayStation 4 have the same graphics. And it's amazing that we have in this small thin piece of hardware. So I
Something
always,
like that.
yeah, so as much time as I play video games, I always in shock how technologies are moving forward very fast. I can't imagine that I will play such huge game, 40 gigabytes, on my phone 20 years ago. I remember times the game Splinter Cell Double Agent was released in, for example, 2007, and they told that this game on a PC weighed more than 10 gigabytes, one of the first games that weighed more than 10 gigabytes, and we thought, wow, how it's possible? Such huge games, such graphics maybe there, such resolution of textures, I don't know. And nowadays, on consoles, games weight up to 300 gigabytes if you're talking about Call of Duty with all their zombies and campaign and multiplayer and what do they have? This battle royale, etc. Wow, in best times we are living right now, to be sure.
Thank you. And to summarize, we have some very nice comments on YouTube. First of
Great.
all, Genshin is almost 6 years. It's not a recent game. it's
It's
it's a history, a living
it's
history.
important. Yes, it's not a new game, but it's released on all modern devices. It's updated all the time. It receives new
It's
content.
alive, right? Yeah.
Yes, they improve the engine, they improve the network stability, they add new characters, they update shop, they create events. So it's live game who has audience millions of people monthly, and it's modern popular game. Yes, it's not new, but 6 years. I thought more, but they release new game in this world, in this universe, in I don't know, not monthly, but each half of a year. And yeah, maybe Genshin is looking pretty old.
Hey, are you?
One more thing, you for the stream, and the audience still hope you will enjoy Genshin Impact more, and maybe on other streams will tell us about your new level ups and new characters you've got.
I think I
And
will find a statue to heal all my characters. It's
yeah,
main
yeah, yeah,
activity
yeah,
right
yeah.
now.
And tell us about it on the next stream. And
Sprint.
yeah, yeah, sorry. And one
Nice.
more thank you for this stream. The audience mentioned that this is the best part of working days. Thank you everyone for such a great comments. Thank you, Maryna. Thank you, Pavel, for being a part of this discussion today. Have a nice day.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks for joining. Have a great day. See you. Bye bye.
Bye.
When will you know that stream is over? How will you know? Marina is turned off. It's still live.